all your hooks and all your impurities that are locked up in you from previous lives. They're called curses. Yeah, and you can't get past those things unless you have a master who's past those things. Yeah. So that's why I talk of Jesus. Yeah, we all know the history of Jesus. We all know that he went on a cross, and according to everything, he died for everyone. He suffered all of his suffering, every whip, every thorn in the head, every nail in the hand, every single thing was a very specific microcosm, macrocosm suffering of a purely, completely innocent, holy being. Yeah, and using it as a physical body. So every living human being that has all the impurities running through its entire body, all the way from birth to death, and all the suffering in between. That's what Jesus took on. Yeah, the ignorance of his mother and father, the ignorance of humanity, the process of coming in contact with Buddhism and his own self-awareness, and unable to share that openly, to people in Israel and other places. So it's really not a historical event, yet it is. The rest of 2/3 of the life of Jesus is based on what I just said. His experience with Buddhism and his recognition of living a long life, not a short life, but a long life. Yeah. So it's that process of him having the ability as the Son of God to resurrect, yeah, and come back from the dead. Yeah. And in that process, there was a quantum light field that took place, a transmission between matter and space and time. Yeah. A quantum wave. Yeah. And that quantum wave, that singularity point that manifested in Jesus' resurrection, was complete separation of life. Everything that was in the body of Jesus was gone. He disappeared. He no longer existed. Yeah, and you could see that on the shroud. Yeah, but then he reappears, and he reappears as the completely pure, once again, completely pure Jesus, the same as he was when he was first born, without all the impurities of taking on the curse of humanity and dying on the cross. That is all resurrected and gone from Jesus. Gone. It's not a part of his life. Yeah? And for him living from that point on and existing and doing all the things is the reason why you should call upon Jesus, because he never dies. His spirit is resurrected, yeah, as in myself, I reincarnate, yeah. So all of that comes back with an ability to go beyond this mortal world, this process of all your habits and all your curses and all the people who curse you and everything. I have been there and left, completely gone, yeah. But now that I'm back, I am above all of that. Yeah? I don't touch the ground and receive impurity. I don't eat and receive impurity. I do not have relationships and receive impurity, because I come after all of this. I was resurrected as Jesus Christ. So when you call upon Jesus Christ, you're calling upon the Master of Masters, the Teacher of Angels. Yeah? And it's at that level, at that communication, at that way of allowing energy to go out to people. That's the influence that allows you to cure this problem. Yeah, because the problem is greed, selfishness. Yeah, what ticked me off the most, and everybody saw it, was when I walked into the temple and there were all these people with money and selling things, and they were changing money, and they were selling people, and they were selling objects, and they were sacrificing animals, and all of this was going on in the temple, all of it. Yeah, so you can just imagine what that meant to me. I had enough problems with my mother, and if you read in the Bible, I completely disowned her. It wasn't because I was angry; it's because she was expressing lies that weren't true and trying to say that I was her son, and I wasn't her son. She knew that. Yeah, she knew that I was an immaculate conception and I was not her son. Yeah, she was more my daughter than my mother, yeah, just as is everyone, yeah. So to put me in position of having my daughter to become my mother, is completely backwards and very satanic. So it put me into a lot of difficulty, a lot of trouble in every relationship that I had around me was due to that delusion of grandeur. And that's a causal problem. That's a causal problem.